guys, welcome to another stream. And in this stream, I'm going to talk about, when Obi-Wan and Yoda and Anakin died, and we got to see them as Force Ghosts. Well, in Return of the Jedi, we saw them Force Ghosts, in the same scene for 5 seconds. We saw Obi-Wan as a Force Ghost earlier in that movie, plus in Empire Strikes Back. Then we got to see Qui-Gon as a Force Ghost in the Clone Wars series. Well, on Maltis, I forgot the word, of the planet. But we got to hear Qui-Gon's voice at the very least in that Clone Wars movie. And then we also got to see Yoda making a cameo as a Force Ghost, or Spirit, whatever you want to call it, in the Return of the Jedi. And I kind of been thinking, because I am a fan of the Jedi, and I am usually, I got a Jedi book. I got a Sith book. Where is it? I got a Sith book, Book of Sith. I don't know where I put my Bounty Hunter one, but there's this one Bounty Hunter book called, the Bounty Hunter Code or something like that. So I got 3 of, the 4 books in this, little series, and it just talks about, okay, this is what, the Jedi or Sith or Bounty Hunters, this is their tradition, pretty much. And pretty much, with the Force Ghosts, because up until The Last Jedi, I guess, up until Return of the Jedi, technically, Force Ghosts couldn't really in terms of touch, they couldn't really interact back touch with physical objects. And then, in Return of the Jedi, Obi-Wan sat down on the log while he was telling Luke that Leia's his sister, which kind of disproves that the Force Ghost can't really interact with physical objects. And then, again, furthering disproving that point by having Yoda pretty much smack Luke with his cane in The Last Jedi. But that's not what I was talking about, or wanting to talk about. So, because I know some people are somewhat confused on, the specifics of Force Ghosts, and it's just when after a Jedi dies, this is only a few Jedi that can do it, though. But, when a Jedi dies, in the Star Wars universe, when something dies, they kind of manifest in the Force. But after a Jedi dies, they can retain their consciousness and appear as spirits / ghosts in the form they took before death, with the exception of Anakin. And in this Jedi book, there's different characters I'm talking about that kind of put their own comments in here, like Yoda, the Thane, Carillion, Count Dooku before he was the Count, Qui-Gon Jinn, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano, Darth Sidious, and then Luke Skywalker. So on this page, which is called Transcending Death thing, which pretty much is the topic of this video, one of the first things Luke says is that it appears that he was saying, I first sensed Ben in this state being a Force Ghost, then Yoda and my father. It meant so much to see them, but there seems to be a limit to how long a spirit can tether itself to the living. And granted that this book was made before The Last Jedi came out. So maybe at that time it was true, but I think The Last Jedi kind of changed that rule that maybe it's like certain Force Ghosts has shorter time than others. If that, uh, the statement that there seems to be a limit to how long a spirit can tether itself to the living statement is true. I don't know. But then Luke goes on later saying, from my own experience, I know that Force spirits can communicate with those still alive and can appear as a vision of their former selves, unmarked by disease or injury. If you have trouble understanding that, just look at Darth Vader towards the end of the Return of the Jedi, and after he got his mask, or Anakin had after Luke taking off the Darth Vader mask, seeing Anakin Skywalker's face, which was kind of scarred and beat up, whatever, from years ago when he fought Obi-Wan and lost in Mustafar and he got burned. And then Luke, yeah, that was the effect of Anakin's face in like the end of The Last Jedi before he died. And then later on in the movie, we saw Hayden, well, in the, I'm talking about special editions here, but the Hayden Christensen's face as Anakin in the special edition was kind of goes into where Luke said, uh, from my experience, I know that Force spirits can communicate with those still alive and can appear as a vision of their former selves, unmarked by disease or injury. And then it goes on saying, Luke Skywalker goes on saying, they can appear anywhere in the galaxy to those who had known them in life, or echoes in one's thoughts. In the Clone Wars series, Qui-Gon, uh, Primus had, to put in the terms that Luke put it in this like little passage, Qui-Gon echoed in Yoda's thoughts during the Clone Wars series in like season 6 of the Clone Wars series. But so I guess yeah, it makes sense that with they can appear anywhere in the galaxy to those who had known them in life. That makes sense because I haven't really seen Yoda interacting. I mean, yet again, there is this like 20/30 year time gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, but I haven't really seen Yoda interacting with Leia or Han, or I guess you can say Obi-Wan can interact with those two, or more like with uh Han and Chewbacca. I don't know about Leia. I don't know if they ever met, but who else? Anakin, for sure he can uh see Luke, cause he knew Luke, and I guess since he had an interaction with Leia a few times, but when he was Vader, I guess you can say that Anakin can appear to Leia as a Force ghost. Uh, but I wonder if there's like an exception, like if you have like assuming that your kids has kids, I wonder if that's like the only exception. Because if that is, then I really want to see Anakin I mean, Hayden Christensen coming back to do Anakin, but this time as a Force Ghost to talk to Kylo Ren, because I feel like that would be epic. I feel like Anakin would be the best choice to bring for pulling Kylo Ren back to the light side, reclaiming his birth name, Ben Solo. Of course, it's going to take years for the galaxy to forgive Ben Solo for what he did as Kylo Ren, but it's better than killing him off. I mean, I would be okay with them killing Leia off in episode 9, only because, unfortunately, Carrie Fisher has died. But here's the thing. We could have had, like, Luke training Leia how to manifest her consciousness through the Force, but sadly her training in that area was never complete, because that was around the time when Ben Solo pretty much did Order 66 2.0 and destroyed the Jedi and the Jedi Order, kind of like Anakin helped the Emperor do that in Revenge of the Sith. So maybe Luke did start training Leia how to manifest her consciousness through the Force, but like I said, that training got cut off because Luke. It was like at the time when Ben Solo turned to the dark side, and Luke felt responsible. So then that's why, and then pretty much Ryan Johnson's version why Kylo Ren, or why Luke went into hiding. That's just. But then we can hear Leia's voice. I mean, we kind of did only hear. I mean, with the exception of the Mortis story arc, we only did hear Qui-Gon's voice, and Qui-Gon did say that his training was never complete. He can only use his voice. He can't manifest an image of himself. So with that said, that's how they can bring Leia back in the most respectful way without having to use CGI really. Just have someone else doing the dialogue for Leia and then manipulate that voice into sounding like Carrie Fisher. Which I know there's gonna be some backlash out of that, but I'll be game for that. But anyways, yeah. I wanted to cover the Force Ghost situation because I know some of you didn't really wouldn't understand much of it, and I hope you guys understand even more. And I advise getting this book, which is The Jedi Path, if you want to know more about like the Jedi way in terms of like the Jedi trials. What are the Jedi trials per se? What are the different form of lightsaber combat? How can you like the ranking system in the Jedi Order, which is I'll let you know, but this book will give you more into detail, which is Jedi Initiate, Jedi Padawan, Jedi Knight, and Jedi Master. And after you become a Jedi Master, you can potentially become a Grand Master, which is Yoda is an example of a Grand Master. Luke Skywalker, the now Legends, is considered in the Legend books is considered as a Grand Master. Not not the now canon Luke, but the Legends Luke is considered as a Grand Master. So anyways, Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, please tell your friends about this channel and this video. And I promise next video will be a little bit less depressing than this. So may the force be with us